This is an ANPAT media presentation on WordPress security. How secure is your WordPress site? In this presentation we will be covering WordPress statistics. How do WordPress sites get hacked? Why hackers may be interested in your site? How websites get hacked? 10 practical solutions. How to remove malware, malicious software. Conclusion, sources used to put together the presentation, and if you would like to get in touch with us. Some WordPress statistics. As of February 2014, there was approximately 74.6 million sites using WordPress. That accounts for about 18.9% of all hosted websites. WordPress is the most used content management system due in main to its ease of use and flexibility. This makes WordPress a prime target for hackers' security attacks, according to the Managed WP blog 2014. How do WordPress sites get hacked? 41% through hosting, 29% themes, 22% plugins, and 8% through weak passwords. Why hackers may be interested in your site. Some of the reasons for attacking small to medium sites are: for free and anonymous computing power. It's not your website itself that hackers are interested in, but the computer power of the web server that it's running on. This can be used to perform intricate computations like those used to mine e-currencies such as Bitcoin, or it could be just to hide the hacker's identity, whilst he uses a server that is not linked to his name to execute other tasks. For spam, that computing power can also be used to send out loads of spam emails, free for the hacker, and is difficult to trace as the emails come from your server and not the hackers. Often by the time the spam is noticed, the spammer has already received compensation due to the ease of which emails can be sent and people are able to respond to promotions. Hosting companies and website owners pay the cost when the addresses of their servers are blacklisted as spam sources and time is spent on cleaning up. An additional approach is to add invisible links for search engines to web pages on sites selling stuff like medications. These links are set up to aid the target websites move up the search rankings. Corrupt marketers are able to purchase space on 1,000 hacked websites from unscrupulous operators at a cheaper rate than it would cost to build up genuine interest in their products. Deploying viruses. A hacked website can be adapted to serve up viruses to site visitors, catching vulnerable visitors with less than secure computers, which either have no antivirus or outdated virus definitions. These viruses can enable the visitor's computer to be used in infecting more computers in the same manner and others. For example, some viruses may encrypt all your files and decrypt them only upon payment of a ransom. This is known as ransomware. In this situation, the victim has to pay a ransom via an online payment system in order to gain access to their system. The virus may be injected into new adverts on every web page you visit, generating income for either the sellers of the advertised products or the sellers of the advertising space. Hackers may also log clicks and key presses on your computer. Capturing valuable passwords such as online banking passwords via this method. your website used as a way of building a botnet of servers, which is numerous of internet connected computers communicating with other similar machines in an effort to complete repetitive tasks and objectives. This can be as ordinary as keeping control of an internet relay chat channel or it could be used to send spam email or participate in a distributed denial of service attack. How websites get hacked. When sites are hacked, it is generally due to an automated program taking advantage of a security weakness. These weaknesses can be extensive or individual to your site. Possibly the most high-profile WordPress security vulnerability in recent years was Tim Thumb, when an image resizing library was used within numerous premium themes and exploited to gain control of websites. Hackers can also use automated botnets to scour the web in search of websites that are vulnerable to brute force attacks, example where the login details are clear enough to enable a hacker to gain entry by attempting several logins. Ten Practical Solutions, Part 1. Backup. One of the most important things you can do to secure your site is to take regular backups. This should be done first before making any other changes. Since nothing will make your site 100% secure, the next best thing is to take regular backups, which will almost guarantee its safety as your site can then be restored. You may also want to explore off-site backup facilities in case your server should fail. You can use third-party sites like Dropbox and Amazon S3 cloud backup services. There are also WordPress plugins like WordPress that can back up your site. Some are free and others offer paid service depending on your requirements. WordPress is a paid-for service but is able to take a snapshot of your site every hour and store those backups, giving you peace of mind. Other plugins like Infinite WP are free and enable you to manage multiple WordPress sites from a single location, as well as offering paid-for extensions for scheduled backups and cloud backup to third-party sites like Dropbox and Amazon S3. Update everything. The most important thing that you can do to prove the security of your WordPress site is to keep everything updated. This is also relevant for any platform that you use. This is so as every new release of WordPress comes with patches and fixes that tackle vulnerabilities, which is no different to keeping your operating system up to date on your computer. If you do not keep your website up to date with the latest WordPress version, you could be leaving yourself open to attack, as hackers will generally target older versions of WordPress with known security issues. It is a good idea to keep an eye on your dashboard notification area for any update messages. The WordPress team are on the ball when it comes to spotting security vulnerabilities and are able to have them patched up within a few hours or days. Updating everything includes WordPress Core, all themes including deactivated themes, all plugins including deactivated plugins. Ideally, you would log into your WordPress site or sites every other day to check for any pending updates. Clean house. An up-to-date plugin theme is not necessarily safe, as you could have an up-to-date plugin that has not been updated for years. It is a good idea to do a periodic check for plugins and themes that are not being updated at least once during the past year, as they could indicate that they are no longer being maintained or supported. While doing this, you may also want to remove any themes and plugins that you no longer require, whether active or not, as they still pose a potential security risk. As a rule of thumb, if you don't need it, remove it. Before updating a plugin, you should check what changes have been made via the changelog, which lists all changes. This will tell you if there are any major changes which may break your site. Before you update, back up your site so if there are any unwanted structural changes, you can reinstall the backup and set the changes back. May then have to either resolve the effect of the update or find a similar plugin. Manage profiles. To manage your profile, go to your WordPress admin under Users, All Users. You'll be presented with a list of all active users on your site. You can then remove any redundant users. When removing redundant users, you can transfer the ownership of their posts to another user during the removal process. You can then demote any unsuitable roles for users. For example, contributors on your website do not require administrative privileges and so should be demoted to author. This will prevent them from being able to access sensitive areas of your site's back end. Delete all admin accounts. From your user profiles, as many brute force attacks target admin accounts in an attempt to crack the password. In such instances, the hacker already has half the equation and only needs to work out the password. By removing admin, you make the hacker's job more difficult, as both username and password are then unknown. The easiest way to remove an admin account is to create a new admin profile and then delete the old one. During the process, remember to select the option to transfer all posts to the new profile and to give the new profile a username that does not reflect the role, such as UNGAD1. Before deleting the admin account, take a backup just in case. Make sure display name is not the same as login or username, as this is broadcast and could be picked up. Display name can be the nickname or combination of first names and last names. Change passwords. You should have all your passwords changed to make sure your accounts are safe from a potential brute force attack. Example list of account passwords to change. All WordPress profiles, your hosting account, FTP accounts, your email accounts, social media accounts, PayPal, and Amazon accounts. In an ideal world, each of the passwords you create should be unique and only used in a single site. When creating the password, it is advisable not to use recognizable words, but instead use alphanumeric combinations with some special characters like $%. For example, 63 capital G FS 27 F $S. You should also use a mixture of upper and lowercase letters. If you are unable to come up with a suitable secure password, there are password generator apps online like strongpasswordgenerator.com that will help you create a strong password. You can take your password security up a notch by using two-factor authentication. That adds a second layer of security to your site. The second layer of security requires something that you have, such as your mobile phone. With this system, a text message is sent to you with a unique number that only you will have. You then type this number in when you log in for the extra verification. This goes alongside your username and password. To add this capability to your WordPress site, you can install plugins like Geo two-factor authentication. Something to be aware of is that generic emails are more likely to be targeted, and recently this has been the case. Generic emails are things like sales, info, hello, etc. For those email accounts, it is advisable to make your password very strong. This is an example of a very strong automated generated password. Notice the special characters. And the length of the password. The other thing you can do is swap FTP for SFTP. FTP, or File Transfer Protocol, is used to upload files and data to your server. However, FTP is very insecure and can be intercepted. Files being uploaded via FTP are in an unencrypted format, which means anyone can intercept the files during upload and see what is inside them. To tighten up the security risk, you should set your hosting provider. You should get your hosting provider, or if you have access, disable your FTP account and enable SFTP. This change will go far in securing your WordPress site, as it does not matter how secure your site is if hackers can get in via FTP. FTP accesses, a hacker will have everything required to take full control of your site. Consider your hosting solution. Obviously, I will recommend Anpat Media for hosting your site, but whoever you decide to go with, make sure the following security features are in place. MOD security. This is a firewall that has been designed to work with and protect web applications from hacker attacks. Some of the features include real-time application security monitoring and access control, virtual patching, full HTTP traffic logging, continuous passive security assessment, web application hardening and flexibility, SFTP support, secure FTP for uploading your files to the server, 24/7 support, jail-hosted websites. This enables you to stop infected sites from spreading to other sites on your server. Daily backups, having a backup for your backups both on and off the server. Off-site backups are very important, as you may not always have access to the server. You can back up to third-party sites like Dropbox or Amazon S3, and disable PHP error messages. Security plugin solutions. Although WordPress security plugins are proving rather popular these days, it is the previous 7 steps in securing your site that will make the biggest difference. There are numerous WordPress security plugins. This is my shortlist of recommended security plugins. All-in-one WordPress security and firewall, better WordPress security, bulletproof security, and word defense security. They're all very popular and highly rated. I personally use all-in-one security and firewall, but you may wish to take the time to consider the other 3. Regardless of which one you select, they implement many measures that will make your site that bit more difficult to hack. Some of these measures include ability to block IP addresses from repetitive attacks, create a white list of trusted IPs, create a hidden login to combat brute force attacks, hide error messages, so don't know if username or password is incorrect, hide WordPress version, login capture, honeypot, etc. Security plugin solutions. This is an example of a hidden login Default is WordPress-login.php, and you can replace the wp-login.php with anything you like. An example I've given, I'm using the / enter. And this is an example of the hidden error message. Hiding error messages makes it more difficult for the hacker, as you are not giving away any information that may help them guess your username or password. So security plugin solution, lockout report example. So this is an example of a lockout report triggered by a possible brute force attack. And what you do is you take the listed IP address that has been attempting to gain access and blacklist them using your security plugin. Subscribe to a website security scanning cleanup service. You may also want to invest in website security scanning and cleanup services like that made available via Securi. Securi can scan your website regularly for malware, malicious software, and for any other suspicious files, and take appropriate action with your consent to restore your site. This is a premium service and starts from $18 per month. There is something for everyone's budget. WordPress starts from $9 per month, and Stop the Hacker $8 per month, and the all-in-one WordPress and firewall plugin service starts at $5 per month. Number 10. Ensure your computer is secure. Things to consider. As well as securing your site, you should also look at keeping your computer secure from hackers. Securing your computer is just as important, as all your effort may be in vain if your computer has keylogger malware installed. Thus, you should be looking at making sure both your website and computer are secure as possible. Things to consider: ensuring your operating system and software is updated regularly. Delete anything that you don't need. Create strong, unique passwords. Use trusted and effective antivirus software solution. Have a strong firewall set up between your computer. This can be software and hardware. Example, your router. How to remove malware. How to remove malware and malicious software. If you have been unfortunate enough to find yourself with a site that has been hacked and injected with malware, then these are the steps you need to enact to get your site back up and running in good health. Take your site offline initially. Temporarily take your site down till you have things fixed. Back up your website. Most hosting companies do daily backups. You just need to make sure there is a recent backup before the hack to restore from. Perform a damage assessment. The idea is to try to figure out what the hackers were after. Were they after sensitive information? Did they want to control your site for other purposes? You should be looking for any recently modified, created files that you don't recognize. Check the .ht access file within the WordPress directory for compromises. Check if your database has been compromised with malicious scripts and iframes. Check for any suspicious activity from within your web hosting control panel, i.e. any newly created email accounts, FTP accounts, etc. Determine the scope of the hack. Are there other sites that may be affected on your server? Recovery. Download the latest version of WordPress and update the install. After reinstallation, use your latest WordPress backup to restore your site, making sure it is a clean backup and free of hacked content. Make sure all plugins are from a reputable source and have the latest installation installed, such as the WordPress directory or theme forest. Change all your WordPress passwords, FTP, web hosting control panel, such as cPanel, Plesk or Hepsia. Change WordPress password in the wp-config.php file. On getting your site back up online, keep an eye on things, as the hacker or hackers may try again. To request removal from the list of reported phishing sites, go to google.com/safe-browsing/report. To request removal from the list of reported malware sites, go to stopbadware.org/home/review info. In conclusion, there is no such thing as a 100% secure site. You can end up doing every possible practical thing to secure your site, but at the end of it all, there comes a point where you must decide that your site is safe enough. The 10 outlined steps should be enough to secure your site against the vast majority of attacks, and the recovery process should help you get your site back up and running after an attack. It's a list of sources used to compile this presentation. And if you wish to get in touch with us, you can email us at info@ampatmedia.com. Phone 0843 523 0496 or mobile 079028 44483. You can find us on Skype at ampatmedia or our website ampatmedia.com. We are also on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter and LinkedIn. Thank you for listening to our presentation, and I hope you've enjoyed it. If you like, you can download the WordPress security checklist and a copy of the presentation. Just see the link below the video. Thank you again.